And we are here at Zane Metz, spending your Thursday evening with us watching some SCBL playoff baseball. Well, the Corndogs, they have got off to a red-hot start as we see Wilson Lauren now at the plate as Harrison Beaudelet absolutely pimped a 3-run home run to get the Corndogs a 3-0 advantage here in the first inning. As that would be a ground ball to the... So Blake Alschuler gets out of the top of the first inning, but not before Harrison Beaudelet absolutely blast a 3-run home run, and the Corndogs hold a 3-0 advantage going into the bottom of the first. Welcome back here to the bottom of the first inning. Let's catch you up on what happened in the top of the first inning as we were trying to figure out some difficulties with the camera and the microphone and all that good stuff. Dave Morsey was hit by pitch by Blake Alschuler, then Cannon Pierce popped out. Dylan Lewis reached on an error by the third baseman Jack Lopez, and Harrison Beaudelet absolutely put a charge into a baseball for a 3-run home run. That's why the Corndogs hold that 3-0 advantage. Then we saw Adam Quintero ground out and also Wilson Lohr ground out, both to the shortstop Will Gray. And that's how we have a 3-0 ball game, as that one is put into the gap by Connor Kiefer. He is rounding one and going two as the center fielder Dylan Lewis is gathering it, throwing at second base, and no chance to get Kiefer, as that is a stand-up double for the second baseman.
Now batting number 9, the shortstop, Will Gray.
So the Copperheads trying to get some runs back after allowing 3 in the top of the first, and that's one way to do it. Kiefer, a nice double into the gap, and that's what you want to get out of your leadoff guy, someone to get on, just pass the baton and start a little rally here. And still plenty of time in this game, but don't want to fall behind too much before it's too late. And now that brings up Will Gray. Gray, one of the leaders in the SCBL in home runs this year. As Gray sits in second place. Actually, Harrison Beaudelet sits in second with him, now jumping in to a tie with first with the 4-hole hitter tonight with the Copperheads, that being Tyler Zadalis, both of them being tied at 6, Will Gray at 5. As that one is down the left field line, but foul. As talking about that home run power that Gray has, he showed that off last night in a big 6-4 win, or excuse me, 8-4 win for the Lake Norman Copperheads that kept them alive this season. Will Gray hitting a home run in that one, a big upset. The Statesville Owls were the 1 seed coming into the SCBL. Daniel Bagwell, the man out of Queens College, got the win in that game, and John Owen got the save for the Copperheads. That one up and in for a ball. We have a 2-2 count, runner on second base, that being Connor Kiefer. Will Gray had the 3 RBIs in that game, and Jack Brannell had 2. We also saw Spencer Nolan with an RBI and a walk, as Brannell has struggled as of late. But those 2 RBIs, a great way to get things started, and every game's going to be a win-or-go-home game from now on for the Copperheads, as they lost that first-round game against the Regulators in a massive upset. Regulators only had 3 wins in this whole season coming into that game. Copperheads won every past meeting with the Regulators before that, and anything can happen in these SCBL playoffs. 3-2, fouled off into the screen, count will stay full. We saw Bagwell work 6 2/3, 9 hits allowed, but only 4 earned runs, 5 walks, and 6 Ks. And John Owen just shut things out when he came in 2 1/3 innings pitch. No hits allowed, no runs allowed, only 1 walk and 5 Ks, as he was the stopper for the Copperheads last night. 3-2. Strike 3 looking right there, and that's a good curveball from Harrison Wilson, as the man from Winthrop gets his first K of the night. That one coming looking. So after Gray is put down on strikes, that will bring up the big lefty from Davidson College, Landon Reeves. Reeves also with some pop, as he was one of the 2 contestees from the Lake Norman Copperhead to participate in the SCBL Home Run Derby this year. Him and the man who's on deck right now, Tyler Zadalis, both went out to Moore Park and participated in that event. 0-1 in the dirt. Good block by Harrison Beaudelet behind the plate. Let's tell you a little bit about the Corndogs pitcher tonight, Harrison Wilson. The 6'2", 200-pound sophomore is from Winthrop University. He has an 0-1 record this year, but with a 2.0 ERA, 5 games. This is his 6th appearance of the year, and only his 2nd start. So normally a man working out of the bullpen and getting the start, maybe a kind of an opener role tonight for the Corndogs. 2 saves, 9 innings pitched, 13 Ks, 4 walks allowed, and 6 hits allowed. But that 2 ERA is sitting pretty, and try to keep that nice ERA in good shape here tonight. He has a 1-2 count to Landon Reeves. Fires, fouled off into the screen. And that's one thing that we do see in these SCBL playoffs, is coaches are, having shorter leashes with their pitchers on the mound, maybe going with a reliever to start off the game if that's, hey, we're coming off no day's rest with a game for the Corndogs last night against the Regulators, or a game against the Owls last night for the Copperheads, and maybe throwing an opener out there, not as much for the Copperheads as they're throwing out their ace almost, and Blake Oshler, as we will see Connor Kiefer advance to third base on a pass ball by Harrison Beaudelet. So that runs the count to 2-2. Wilson working out of the stretch with Kiefer on third. That one popped up to center field, Dylan Lewis, as maybe a potential tag opportunity for Connor Kiefer. Let's see if he's going to test the arm. Yes, he will. He's going to show off the cannon, going home. It trickles to the plate, and Connor Kiefer beats it out. The arm of the Queens product, Dylan Lewis, in center field, just not enough to get Kiefer at home, as that throw came off short. It looked like it had a cannon coming off his arm, as the pitcher Harrison Wilson said, hey, I'm not going to cut this off. I'm going to let it go home. And that comes up costly, as that one just trickled into home, just died as soon as it hit that infield grass. So Reeves will be credited with a sac fly. As we see a big loopy curveball right there from Wilson. And that will bring the man who's tied for first place in home runs this year with Harrison Beaudelet, Tyler Zadalis. Zadalis with 22 RBIs on the season, also one of the leaders in the league in RBIs, as he's been just one of the best hitters overall in the SCBL. 77 ABs, 18 hits, 4 doubles, 6 home runs, 22 RBIs. He's worked 14 walks, 4 stolen bags, and that 234 average, as he also is the man who leads the SCBL in Ks with 32, so high power, but also a high strikeout. And that's something to look out for, as he's a guy that's never faced college pitching before this summer, as he's only going to go into his freshman campaign at the University of South Carolina. So first year getting accustomed to college pitching, and done a pretty good job at it, as he's leading in many statistical categories. 1-2. Big slider right there, and that sits down Zadalis on Ks, and that is the second one of the inning from Harrison Wilson. So Connor Kiefer started things off with a leadoff stand-up double. He advanced to third base on a pass ball by Harrison Beaudelet, scored on a sac fly from Landon Reeves, and we will have a 3-1 ball game going into the top of the second. We're back here for the top of the second inning. Queen City Corndogs hold a 3-1 advantage over the home Lake Norman Copperheads. A beautiful but hot night here in Concord, North Carolina, as that one is outside for a ball. Nathan Sammy, for the Corndogs, up to the dish. Strike right there. Sammy, the 5'10", 180 middle infielder from Millsbury College. And another strike right there from Oshler. 51 ABs, 15 runs, 15 hits, 4 doubles, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, and a 294 average. As that one single from Sammy. So he reaches safely, and that brings up number 55, William Benick. Benick, one of the Corndogs that was a midseason all-star for the SCBL. As you go through this lineup, you see a lot of Harrison Beaudelet, as the Queen City Corndogs lineup has been one of the best in the SCBL, as that is a floater to the second baseman, Connor Kiefer, jumps up a little bit, and will retire Benick. As you see by that Corndogs record, to say, hey, you know, it may not be the best sitting at 12-13, but they've arguably had the best lineup, just the pitching at times hasn't been there. And we saw the great lineup the last time they played against the Lake Norman Copperheads, as they slapped up the Copperheads 10-0. As that one will have to get out of the way of it will be Sammy, and the play at second base, he'll be in there safely, as Nathan Sammy had to show off the gymnastics skills right there, as he had to get out of the way of that ground ball from Luke Harris. And gets out, but slides in there to second safely. As that one into center field, coming in on it is Spencer Nolan. That ball will drop. We have a play at second base. Will he get them in time? Nope, as he decides to go home, and that will load the bases. And that brings up Dave Morrissey, who Oshler hit the last time up, and obviously don't want to hit him here, as that will bring in a run. Bases loaded jam here for. You can see why he's batting in that leadoff spot tonight for Queen City. He has 17 hits, 2 doubles, and 7 to get Miller St. John at second base. But the runner scored. As we're trying to figure out the logistics of this play, as it sure is a wacky one. And it looked like to me that ball bounced right in front of Will Gray. He picked it up, kind of one-hopped it, scooped it up, flipped it over to Connor Kiefer, so that would get Miller St. John out. But the hitter, Dave. So let's see what the call from the umpires will be right here. Obviously, it looks like not in favor of the Copperheads, as Will Gray putting his head down and not the body language not looking the best. And now the umpires talking it over with the manager for the Lake Norman Copperheads, that being Noah Jarrett. Jarrett, the youngest manager here in the SCBL, his first season with the Corndogs. It's a third manager in 3 years, and trying to bring some stability to this ball club. Having a long chat over there, and you can see Jarrett not liking what the umpire is saying. And also some fans voicing their displeasure. So it looks like the call will be that Miller St. John got the force out over there at second base, but Nathan Samuel score. So looks like we have a 4-1 ball game here. As if Connor Kiefer would have put that over there to first base with Jack Brannell standing there, that Morrissey would have been retired, but he reaches on a fielder's choice, and that keeps the inning going. So a costly mistake from the Copperheads right there. So we've seen that a lot this season, actually. Copperheads having a lot of errors in some games and can cost them the games at time. And now that one just a mental mistake by Will Gray and Connor Kiefer, just not knowing how many outs are in the inning or not knowing what the call is. And unfortunate for them, keeps the inning, the corners, and Cannon Pierce up. One count, 2 outs. That one into left field, tracking back on his Jack Lopez, trying to show off the wheels. And can't get there. Cannon Pierce sporting the number 10 this season for the Corndogs from University of North Carolina, Asheville. So, point up there for them, as that one will be poked in the left field. Connor Welker will get that one for out number 3, but the Corndogs add to their advantage as they hold a 4-1 lead here early over the Lake Norman Copperheads. Stick with us, bottom of the second inning coming up. Copperheads have some work to do, but still a lot of time in this ball game. 5, 6, 7 due up here in the bottom of the second inning for the Lake Norman Copperheads. In the bottom of the first, Connor Kiefer reached on a stand-up double, and Landon Reeves hit him in on a sacrifice fly to center field. So the man from UNC Charlotte will get things started here in the bottom of the second. Good curveball right there from Harrison Wilson as he got Will Gray looking on a nasty curveball that sat him down for the first out of the evening for Wilson. 0-1. Popped up over the screen and foul. The Corndogs had a convincing win last game over the Regulators as it came out to be a 17-6 lead as the Bats were feeling it. And that'll be strike three, looking to the third K of the night for Harrison Wilson as Spencer Nolan gets frozen on that outside fastball. So Nolan gets put down looking, and that brings up the catcher, Mason Utek. Going back to that game last night, I mean, everybody contributed as Dylan Lewis had 6 RBIs by himself, Dave Morrissey with 2, Cannon Pierce with 1, Harrison Beaudelet with 2 RBIs, Luke Harris with 1, and Adam Quintero with 2, as it was just bats to go around. Anytime when you're getting into the teens, when you're talking about runs, you're normally going to win the game. So Wilson looks in, gets the sign from his catcher, Harrison Beaudelet. Here comes the 2-0. Fouled off into the screen. Let's take you around the Corndogs infield. Nathan Sammy at third and William Benick at first base. The middle infield looks like Miller St. John at shortstop and Dave Morrissey at second base. Harrison Beaudelet is cleaning up behind the plate. Cannon Pearson left, Adam Quintero in right field, and Dylan Lewis holds things down in center. 2-1. Curveball misses up and in. Good eye from Utek. Wilson shakes off one like the second that he sees and will fire home the 3-1. Outside fastball runs the count full. Utek sitting pretty with that average this year, having a .278 average, 10 hits, 36 ABs, 7 RBIs, 13 walks. 3-2 pitch. Popped up out to left center field. And the left fielder, Cannon Pierce, will get that one easily for out number 2.
After the flyout, Copperheads will bring up number 40,
And Jack Brent will have to get things started here. As 2 outs already in the inning. As I mentioned earlier, Brandel got those 2 big RBIs in the win last night against the Statesville Owls, trying to keep that hot streak going. As Brandel's been the primary first baseman towards this latter half of this year. 1-0. Take from Brandel, but dips in there for a strike. Brandel, one of the many former Cox Mill Chargers on this ball club. The 6'1", 300 lefty will pop that one up over the screen. Breno with a .212 average, 11 walks worked, 8 RBIs, and only struck out 6 times. So a guy that, if he's getting put down, it's going to be a ball in play. 1-2 pitch from Wilson. Misses low and outside, as it looked like he was going to try to outside fastball. They got Spencer Nolan looking earlier in the inning, as he already's got 3 Ks through 1 2/3 innings of work. 2-2 from Wilson. Slatter misses in the dirt. Count runs full. Good eye right there from Brannel. And talking about those former Cox Mill guys on this team, when you look up and down the lineup, you see Tyler Zadalis, Jack Brannel, Jack Lopez, all those former Chargers, and also Blake Oshler on the mound tonight. Out there for the Coppers. That one grounded to the second baseman. Dave Morrissey gets it, fires it over to first base. A close play, but they will get Jack Brannel. The First scoreless inning of the night for either ball club, and the Corndogs hold a 4-1 advantage going into the top of the third inning. Stick with us for some more SCBL baseball. Black here, top 3, as that one is poked into right field, and Dylan Lewis will reach safely here in the top of the third. And Dylan Lewis reached an error last time from Jack Lopez, and now gets his first hit of the night. And Oshler getting that. A disappointing outing so far, allowing 4 runs through the first 2 innings, but trying to get things turned around right here, as he's got to keep this team in it, as it is a win-or-go-home game after all. He had a disappointing outing last time against the Queen City Corndogs as well. 6 innings pitched, 5 runs allowed, 3 of those being earned, 7 hits allowed, 1 walk, but the 6 Ks. And Andrew Bruss also got hit up very well by the Corndogs in that game as well, but Bruss may be available to pitch out of relief tonight, just depending on what the Copperheads need. 1-1. And UTEC tries to frame that one, but no luck. We have a 2-1 count, no outs in the inning here in the top of the third. Queen City Corndogs have a 4-1 advantage. That one out into right field, and that is a absolute blast. And that is the second home run of the game for Harrison Beaudelet. Take your home run shot, as that is his 5th RBI of the night, and we're only in the top of the third inning. Harrison Beaudelet is an absolute dog at the plate, and he leads the SCBL in home run jacks. And he is having his way tonight against Blake Oshler. And now the Corndogs hold a 6-1 advantage here early. And we will have a mound visit. And Oshler will be back in just a moment. Welcome back here at the top of the third inning. And the Queen City Corndogs are pulling away and making this one a blowout early. They hold a 6-1 lead, as that one will be striped up the middle by Adam Quintero. We have a new pitcher to the game for the coming on Spencer Nolan into the gap, and a diving play won't be able to get him. Adam Quintero going 3, and Wilson Lord going 2, and he will be in there safely. And the Queen City Corndogs bats didn't come to play tonight as they want to keep moving in these SCBL playoffs. A double by Wilson Lord, the former Copperhead, doing some damage against his past team.
Now batting, number 5, Nathan Sammy.
That's a good play from Connor Kiefer, just keeping that ball as that one drove him off the bag, had to make a diving play. Good effort by Connor Welker over there in the left center field gap. And Spencer Nolan had to pick up the scraps. Outside fastball right there from Javier. And that brings up Nathan Sammy. Sammy got a single his first time up, and a single here would really hit this game. There's no outs here in the third inning. That one will get past UTEC, bounce off his chest protector, and the Queen City Corndogs hold a 7-1 advantage. In the back end of this Corndogs lineup, sending 6'3", 220. Curveball right there from Javier, misses high. He's from Limestone College. He has 11 hits, 48 ABs, 8 RBIs, 10 walks, and a 229 average. Javier, the control is looking better than that game earlier this week against the Regulators, but still getting hit up pretty well by this red-hot Corndogs lineup. As confusing play right there, as that one had some power on it and got past Dylan Lewis, as he must have got like a finger hit tip or something to it to slow that ball down. As if not, you would imagine that ball's rolling all the way to the track, or maybe just the grass is cut longer at Cox Mill than usual, because normally 1-1. Good slider right there. Ground ball to Morrissey. Easy enough for out number 2. Maybe out number 1. So Morrissey sits down Welker, and that will bring up the top of the order. Last time Connor Kiefer was up, he put a double into the left center field gap and got 1-0. Popped into right field. Going back on it is William Benick, but that'll be over the fence and foul. Natalie, we need a charger eventually for the left. The charger for the left. 1-1. Popped up by Gray again. Tracking towards the fence is Benick. And comes back in for out number 3. Will Gray gets sat down on a pop back, but still trail 8-2. We'll be back for the top of the 4th in just a moment. We have an 0-2 count. Pitch from Javier. That one into right field. Going back on his Landon Reeves. That one deep. And that ball will be gone. A jack right there from Dylan Lewis. And the man from Queens College shows off the power. Queen City Corndogs now lead 9-3. And they are playing no games in these playoffs. Win or go home. And they're not going home. And he said, I can make 2-out rally magic, and I'll just do it myself. And that is the 3rd home run of the night Landon Reeves has had to watch go right over his head. And you said home runs. Harrison Bodolette knows a thing or two about those, as he's hit 2 so far tonight, both off Blake Oshler, so his first time facing Joe Javier. 5 RBIs, 2 home runs, and it's only in the top of the 4th inning, so he's on pace for a pretty good night, I would say. 1-2. In the dirt. One 0. And he will chop that one to Jack Brandon. He can't go for the hat trick of home runs just now, But it's only the 4th inning, so he's going to have plenty of time. Corndogs hold a 9-2 advantage. We'll be back for the bottom of the 4th in just a moment. The heart of this LKN lineup, 2 here in the bottom in the 4th. 3, 4, 5, and Landon Reeves will start things off as we see a very heavy shift for the big lefty. And he will pop that one up. But Nick going towards the wall, and that will be over. As we can see, the Corndogs definitely did their scouting on Landon Reeves coming into this game and say, hey, 6'5 lefty, probably a pull hitter. And they are not wrong, as 90% of the time he's going to put one in a right field. So, after Reeves pops that one up, it's a 0-1 count. Misses low. One count. Harrison Wilson out for his 4th inning of work. Only allowed 2 runs so far. Good take right there from Reeves. You see over there, Dave Morrissey just almost out there in right field, and Miller St. John shifted way past second base. And the dirt 3-1 count, as you can obviously see those MLB shift rules not in effect here in the SCBL, is looks like a Joey Gallo type shift right here. As 2022 baseball wouldn't be without a big lefty pulling like a 105 line drive right to the second baseman standing into shallow right field. That's one thing that the MLB changed in those rule changes this year. 3-1 pitch. Good take by Landon Reeves, and he'll get things started here in the bottom of the 4th.
Following the walk, number 17, Tyler Zadalis.
We're not doing that now.
What color? You're not doing this? I like it.
It doesn't show up on the broadcast, though. So Landon Reeves will be held on by William Benick over there at first base. Takes his lead. Good take right there. Tyler Zadalis up. He struck out his first time. And now a little mound visit between Bertollet and Wilson. They'll chat things up. As now that movement over in that Queen City Corndogs bullpen is gone from J-band exercises to full-on throwing. So this may be the last inning of Harrison Wilson's night. Wilson looks over, checks on Reeves, and delivers the pitch. And therefore a strike. Looks like Peter Gallo is the man warming up for the Corndogs, and we'll keep an eye on that. Outside for a ball.
That's not the scoreboard, is it? This or on the broadcast?
2-1. And the dirt good take from Zadalis. Sun's starting to set here. Still plenty of daylight, but those lights turned on. 3-1. Popped up from Zadalis. Over the screen and foul. Count runs full. And Harrison Wilson a good chance to strike out Zadalis for the second time tonight. Three-two. That one is popped up. Miller St. John tracking back on it. Calls off his former Corndog teammates for out number one. Tao Zadalis goes to 0-2 on the night. And Spencer Nolan now up.
Number 23, Spencer Nolan.
Spencer Nolan's first time up, he got sat down on a fastball on the outside part of the plate that he looked down and had to walk back to the dugout. As it was a nice fastball just painted out outside part of the plate from Wilson. Nolan comes up swinging right here, and that's good work as that one is put into right field. And we will see the runner go to, and Landon Reeves will reach third base safely. Runners on the corners. The Copperheads just trying to inch back in this game little by little.
Following the single, number 4, Mason Utic.
That brings up the catcher, Mason Utek. And that might be the end of the night for Harrison Wilson. It looked like it will be. A good outing as he goes 3 1/3 innings pitched, 2 runs allowed, and Landon Reeves on third base will be his runner, so we'll see on that. We'll be back here in just a moment. We'll let the new pitcher warm up and tell you who he is and a little bit more about him. UTEC up to the dish for the Lake Norman Copperheads as we have runners on the corners and one out. UTEC watches that one go by for a strike as we have a 9-2 game. Corndogs lead. Just a reminder, win or go home game, so Copperheads have some ground to make up if they want to keep their season alive. We have Landon Reeves standing on third base and Spencer Nolan standing on first. Nolan poked one out to right field, and Reeves used his 6'5" frame to leg around the bases and get there standing at third. Nathan Sammy at third watching the bunt. Nolan will go. No throw from Bodolite, so he will reach safely. No one holding on Nolan. 2-1. And that will be in the right center field gap, and that will score 2. As Nolan will come around and get there standing. Copperheads now trail 9-4. Good piece of hitting right there from Mason UTEC, and he says Copperheads are not going down without a fight. And a 2 RBI single. And that brings up Jack Brannell. He grounded out last time, almost legged it out, but the throw from Dave Morrissey was too quick. Good take right there from Brannell. One-0. Another ground ball from Brannell. Morrissey will turn, fire to first base. And good play right there, getting that ball in the gap by Morrissey. Scored a fielder's choice as we will see UTEC advance to second base.
Now batting, number 1, Jack Lopez.
Jack Lopez will try to keep things going here in the bottom of the fourth. Copperheads have already scored 2 here. And trying to chip it away at this lead little by little. Lopez got his double his first time up as it was a diving play by Dylan Lewis in center, and it got past him and trickled into the outfield. Lopez almost turned 3, but decided to go back to second. Better play it safe and sorry. And he would reach on a sacrifice ground ball from Connor Kiefer later in the inning. 1-0. In the dirt. And Butterley can't find that one as it hits off the shoe of the umpire. And good heads-up awareness right there from UTEC to advance to third. One. Swing and a miss right there. Good fastball. One, two. Now get past Butterley. Mason UTEC will reach safely. And the Copperheads now hold a 9-4 trailing. So not back by too much. Still a lot of game to be played. Excuse me, 9-5 is UTEC scoring there. Counts is now at 2-2. No runners on for Jack Lopez at the plate. Swing and a miss right there. Lopez gets sat down on a K. And the Copperheads put up 3 in the inning as they trail 9-5. We'll be back in just a moment for the top of the 5th here at Cox Mill High School. Winner go home game in the SCBL playoffs. Welcome back here, top 5. And Queen City Corndogs lead 9-5. Tanner Lane is the new pitcher into the game for the Copperheads, as he will be third pitcher of the night that the Copperheads have used after Joe Javier will sit the rest of the night in the dugout. Tanner Lane from Lipscomb University has 1 appearance and a 3-2 win over the Regulators. 2 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 1 save, 1 walk, 3 Ks. So the K percentage high, having those 3 Ks and only 2 innings of work. 1-1. Good pitch right there from Lane, and count moves to 1-2. Adam Quintero up to the dish for the Corndogs. Watches that one go into the dirt. 5, 6, 7 due up for Queen City. Little mound visit right there between Tanner Lane and Mason Utek. Just getting on the same page. First couple pitches that they have thrown together tonight. Lane working out of the windup. 1-2. In the dirt. One thing to mention with Lane, though, is when he gets into that motion, it's going quick. He's getting that ball quick out of his hand once he does go into his pitching motion. As we'll see here, he steps, fires quickly, and popped up over the screen. Count stays at 2-2. Lane shakes off 2 pitches. Likes the third one that he sees. And that one misses low. Good take right there from Quintero, as he sure wanted it. 3-2. Poked into right field. That one will get down, and Landon Reeves will have to get that one in the corner. Adam Quintero turning one, going 2. And Quintero will stay at second base. And that will be a leadoff double for number 15, the right fielder, Adam Quintero, his second hit of the night.
Number 12, Wilson Laurel.
And that will bring up Wilson Lohr, who got a double his last time up, the former Copperhead, doing some damage. Member of the ball club last year. Lane checks on the runner. And fastball misses low to Lohr. Checking up on that game at Moore Park, we have a 3-3 game in the top of the 4th between the Concord A's and Mooresville Spinners. And looking like it might be a high-scoring game over there as well. And the dirt right there, good block from Utek. And 1 out in the top of the 4th. Just a reminder, the winner of that game will go on to be in the championship game. And that's really the biggest game so far of the playoff right there, because if you do win that game, you move on to the championship, and all you got to do is just win 1 out of 2 against the eventual other team in that championship game, as this is a double elimination tournament. The winner of this game will advance to play the loser of that game at the home park of the loser of the A's and Spinners game, and the loser goes home in this one. 2-1. Good take right there from Lohr, and a hard one to take, as looks like a good strike, but umpire favors with Lohr. 3-1. Swing right there, count runs full. So the Regulators Baseball Club are eliminated so far this year, and the 1-seed Statesville Owls lost their 2 first games in the SCBL playoffs and also are eliminated. So big upsets with the Statesville Owls, as they were eliminated last night by the Lake Norman Copperheads, who had to travel up to West Iredale High School and play the Owls on the road. A very hard place to play. A lot of Owls fans out there, but they went home disappointed. 3-2. In the dirt, Wilson Lore works his walk. The first 2 men up to the dish for the Corndogs will reach safely, and we'll have the second mound visit of the inning. We'll let them chat it up, and we'll be back in just a moment. Nathan Sammy up for the Corndogs and trying to have the same luck as his former Queen City teammates, as both Adam Quintero and Wilson Lore have reached safely this inning against the new pitcher Tanner Lane. Lane, a late season addition for the Copperheads, just trying to be an extra arm out of that bullpen. The third pitcher of the night that the Copperheads have had to use started off with Blake Oshler, went to Joe Javier, and now with Lane. Lane down in this count, 2-0. And as you can see by the scoreline, this Corndogs lineup has been red hot tonight. Big swing and a miss right there. 5 of those runs coming by way of Harrison Bertolette, who's batting in the 4-hole. 2 home runs, 1 3-run shot, 1 2-run shot. Both of those going over the head of Landon Reeves. And also Dylan Lewis got in on the home run action. That one also out to right field. Strike right there. Count runs even to 2-2. Lane looks in, comes set. Fires home the 2-2. Fouled off UTEC, and umpire's going to give him a breather for a second. Walk the ball out to the mound. A little hand package delivery to Lane on the mound. UTEC recovers, as those ones can be tough, just taking it right off the bat, no time to react, and looks like that one got him on the chest protector, but he looks to be okay. Umpire kicks a little dirt off the plate. Count stays at 2-2. Adam Quintero on second. Wilson Lore on first. Nathan Semi at the dish. No outs in the inning here in the top of the 5th. 2-2 from Lane. Can't get the strike 3 call that he wanted on the inside part of the plate. Count runs full. And these Corndogs hitter really making Lane work for it, as this pitch count has already been ran up. Full count pitch. That one into center field. Spencer Nolan will come a little bit on it, and actually the second baseman, Connor Kiefer, will make a little backwards play, and that's a tough one right there. Have to turn the hips, track back on that baseball for the first out of the inning.
Next coming back.
No, you said you were kissing me.
No, I said you go eat. You left me
You said
hanging.
you were picking me up.
So Sammy gets retired by way of the pop out, and that will bring up William Benick.
Number 55, Will Budnick. I thought you were taking over.
Yeah. Thanks. Oh, I guess I was.
I was letting you make up the work. You guys saying California.
Lane looks in. First pitch to Benick. Swing and a miss right there.
Gave me plenty of work while I was gone.
Benick is 0 for 2 in the night with 2 pop outs, so trying to get his day started and get hot like the rest of his Queen City teammates. 0-1. Swing and a miss right there. Taylor Lane just being more direct with Benick here, as he's kind of dancing around the strike zone a little bit, running counts full. But playing no games and just coming straight at Benick. Lane shakes off one. Shakes off another, comes set. Likes the pitch that he sees from Mason Utek. 0-2. Fouled off, but Nick stays alive. Got just enough on that ball to foul it off. The season series has been tight as the Corndogs won that last game that these two teams played, the final regular season game between both teams with a 10-0 win here at Cox Mill High School. That one being on Saturday. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss right there, and Taylor Lane gets the first K of the night, and Willie Benick moves to 0-3. As good fastball right there from Lane, right past Benick for the second out of the inning.
Following the strikeout, number 13, Luke Harris.
That brings up the extra hitter, Luke Harris. Harris is 2 for 2 on the night with 2 singles and trying to keep that going right here. The first pitch of the night that he will see from Lane will be low for a ball. Lane comes set, pitches in and delivers that one. Just misses outside. Little movement in that Copperheads bullpen. Just someone looks like throwing some weighted balls against the netting over there. 2-0 from Lane. Low again. 3 straight balls and in danger of walking Luke Harris and loading the bases for Miller St. John. .3-0 count, 2 runners on, 2 outs in the inning. Queen City Corndogs lead 9-5. Strike right there, good get-back pitch from Lane as he just needed one to get himself back into a rhythm. As he went straight at William Benick and now kind of dancing around the strike zone here against Luke Harris. 3-1. That one lined straight to the second baseman. Can't get Will Gray a glove on it, and the runner will be coming home. No play at the plate. And Corndogs lead 10-5 as the 2-out rally magic keeps going. As not just this inning as it's the first run of the inning, but feels like Corndogs, when the 2 outs are shown on the scoreboard, they turn it on. And Luke Harris continues just to be red hot tonight, getting his 3rd single. As he might be maybe batting in the 9-hole, but that doesn't mean that he can put in some quality ABs for Queen City. Miller St. John, the shortstop, now up. Try to pass the baton to the front half of the order as he's batting 10th and watches that fastball by Lane go by. Lane shakes off one. Connor Kiefer holding the runner over there at second. Good slider right there. Count runs to 0-2. Wilson Lohr standing on second. Luke Harris standing on first. 0-2. Lohr will be going. No throw from Mason Utek. So that moves now runners at the corners. Lane will come set. Look at Lohr at third. 1-2 pitch. Can't get the call that he wants and was about to walk off the mound and thought he had strike 3 looking on Miller St. John. But the umpire says get back on the rubber. Still more baseball to be played here. 2-2. Can't get the strikeout right there either. A stone cold take from Miller St. John as count runs full. Big pitch in the inning right here. 2 runners on, 2 outs, 3-2 count. Corndogs lead 10-5. Popped up. Foul. Lane will take a breather. Big deep breath. Readjust his hat. Put his glove back on. Steps back on the rubber. Shakes off 1, shakes off 2. Likes the second. Luke Harris at first will be going. Full count pitch. Right up the middle. And Will Gray can't get it. Corndogs lead 11-5. Good piece of hitting from Miller St. John right there. Just driving that baseball right back from where it came from for a single.
Single number 26, Cannon Pierce.
And that brings up Dave Morsey. So the top of the order back up for Queen City. Morsey is 0 for 1 on the night. He got hit by a pitch, fielder's choice, so actually 0 for 2, excuse me, and then lined out his last time up. Pitch, swing and a miss right there. Lane 1 strike away from getting out of a tough inning already and a tough jam. 2 runners on, 0-2 pitch. Slider can't fool Morsey. Try to work that slider in on the hands and just put his hands through the baseball and fouled it off. Let's see if he goes back with the off-speed stuff or goes with the heater. Already has 1 K on the inning with a heater. And that one into left field. Popped up over the screen and foul. And feels like these corn dog hitters, every AB, they're working 5, 6, 7 pitches. Maybe even more. Lane shakes off 2. 0-2 pitch. Runs in and gets Dave Morsey. So Morsey just be a magnet for the baseball tonight. That's the second time that he's been hit. 1 time in the elbow and now 1 time square in the back. And now we will have a mound visit. We'll let him talk it up, and we'll be back in just a moment. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Popped up. Jack Lopez tracking towards that one, but will be foul. And a good catch by the bullpen catcher for the Queen City Corndogs. He's showing off the glove as well.
Following the hit by pitch, number 10, Cannon Pierce.
So after Dave Morsey was hit square in the back by Tanner Lane, Cannon Pierce is up as he's popped out twice, so 0 for 2 on the night. 0-1 pitch, good fastball right there. And we've seen Lane get to 2 strike counts. Very early in the counts would it be an 0-2 count, a 1-2 count, even 2-2 counts, but just can't get that final strike. Let's see if he can get the elusive 3rd strike right here. And he just can't do it as these corn dog hitters, man, they know how to battle. Just staying in counts, fouling off pitches, and having good takes. And just waiting to a pitch that they like, and you can see that they have that great approach, having 11 runs tonight. They scored 17 runs last night, as they've scored 28 runs in the last 2 nights, and this game's not even over. Lane working on the windup, 0-2. The shortstop, Will Gray. Easy does it, flip it over to Connor Kiefer at second. And that will be out number 3. Tanner Lane gets out of a jam, but the Queen City Corn Dogs put up a boatload of runs, and they're up 11-5. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th in just a moment. Connor Welker up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. As we've had a long ball game so far. It's been a high-scoring affair. Corndogs lead 11-5. That one misses high right there. We have a 2-0 count. Connor Welker up for the 2nd time tonight. He grounded up first time. And up in this count, 3-0. Working out of the windup. Good fastball right there on the outside part of the dish.
I don't
3-1. And he will work his walk. So the first man up here in the bottom of the 5th will reach safely. Connor Kiefer now up. He has a stand-up double and a sacrifice ground ball. The pitch misses high. So Connor Welker stands on first base, being held on by William Benick. 1-0. Runner will be going, popped up, and will be foul. We're off the top of the Copperheads dugout. And that's what that roof's for after all. One 1 count, no outs in the inning. And Connor Kiefer up to the dish. Ball misses high. And that one misses low. As he tried to pick off over there. And no chance to get Welker. Welker with 10 stolen bags this year, so one of the better base stealers not only for the Copperheads, but in the league. So definitely a guy that you want to watch out for in the base paths. Three 1. Up and in. First 2 batters here in the bottom of the 5th will reach safely on walks. Have a little mound visit right here. We'll be back in just a moment. Will Gray now up. That one will get past Podele behind the dish, and both runners will advance safely. So both Connors on the base pass. Connor Welker at 3rd, Connor Kiefer at 2nd. Will Gray at the dish. Corndogs lead 11-5. 1-0. Swing and a miss right there from Gray.
Think about that every day.
1-1. Misses high. Good eye right there from Gray. He is 0 for 2 on the night with a backwards K and a pop out.
You get paid monthly or biweekly? At least you don't like it because weekly pay gets you messed up. Like you're like, oh yeah.
Popped up over the screen and foul. 2-2.
Yeah. I prefer me. I know like if I get paid every week, then like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm always gonna have money in my account. But like I used to only get paid biweekly, and then I got paid weekly, and then going back to biweekly to getting paid weekly, it sucked. Like I had no money.
2-2 pitch. High. Count runs full.
Yep.
The left fielder Connor Welker standing on third, and the second baseman Connor Kiefer on second.
At Food Line, they had a thing where I could like split my pay 50-50 with accounts. So I would.
That one to the third baseman, Sammy, and he will fire to first. And can't get Connor Kiefer. Good play right there from Nathan Sammy. One keeping that ball, or excuse me, get Will Gray at first base. Good play right there from Nathan Sammy as he not only kept that ball in the infield, he kept that runner at third base, Connor Welker, mounted to the bag and didn't allow him to score. Great defensive work by the man at the hot corner. So Will Gray moves to 0-3 on the night, and Landon Reeves now up. Reeves had a sacrifice fly for an RBI and reached on a walk. Good take right there outside.
It's weird for me. Like
Count moves to 2-0. Landon Reeves, the big power lefty bat. Trying to do some work here for the Copperheads. Good take right here. Only one ball away from working his second walk of the night. So movement in the Corndogs bullpen. 3-0 pitch. In the dirt, Landon Reeves works a 4-pitch walk. Didn't even have to take the bat off his shoulder. And that's about the easiest time you'll reach base in baseball right there. 4 pitches, 4 balls, 1 walk. Another mound visit for the Corndogs, and we'll be back in just a moment. New pitcher into the game for the Queen City Corndogs, that being Aiden Meany. He steps into a very sticky situation with bases loaded and only one out. Aiden Meany from University of Alabama, Tuscaloosa. Two 0. Strike right there. A 6.35 ERA, 5 games. This is his 6th appearance. 2 of those being starts, 1 save, 11 and 1/3 innings pitched, 11 Ks. As that ball is popped up. Shortstop Miller St. John tracking back on it, but the center fielder will call him off. Play at the plate, and a throw from Dylan Lewis would have got that runner way in time as he showed off the cannon right there. And Connor Walker says, hey, you know what? I'm not going to run on that arm. Probably not a good idea. So Zadalis gets sat down on a pop out, and that brings up number 23, the man from UNC Charlotte, Spencer Nolan. Pitch from Meany. High for a ball. Count moves to 2-0. So after Meany went straight at Tyler Zadalis, he danced around the strike zone a little bit to the tall righty Spencer Nolan. Strike right there. Good pitch from Meany. Two 1. That one into center field. That ball will drop. 1 run will score. Connor Kiefer coming around. We'll have a play at the plate. The throw from Meany. Can he get out at the plate? He got him. What a relay from Dylan Lewis to Aiden Meany to Harrison Beaudelet at the plate. And that's out number 3 in the inning. As that is a textbook relay, as that's how you draw it up right there. We'll have a 11-6 game going into the top of the 6th. 3, 4, 5 due up here in the top of the 6th inning. Thank you for joining us and spending your Thursday evening with us. Corndogs hold a 11-6 lead. And Dylan Lewis now up to the plate. Good take right there from Lewis. Nick Solar is the new pitcher into the game for Lake Norman. Solar, another one of those late additions to the ball club. And he's down in this count 3-0. Good strike right there, just trying to get some rhythm going. Solar shakes off 2 pitches. Likes a third one that he sees from his catcher, Utek. 3-1 pitch. Good slider on the outside part of the plate. Just try to sneak that one in back door. And just fouled it off. Count runs full. Let's see if Solar goes back with the slider. Or goes with the heat right here. 3-2 pitch. Goes back with the backdoor slider, and he gets him. And they swing and a miss from Dylan Lewis. And a good way to start the night for Solar with a K. He doubled up on the outside slider.
Now batting, number 37, Harrison Buffaletti.
And that brings up the home run man, Harrison at Beaudelet. Another slider right there, and that's Solar's main pitch tonight. Those home runs were coming against a righty, and that being Blake Oshler, the man who started off the night for the Copperheads. So we'll see if he has any lefty-on-lefty pop. Big swing and a miss right there, 0-2. So looks and shakes off one, likes the second from Utek. Sets, delivers the 0-2. Another slider. And that actually might have been a good pitch if Utek was set up on the inside part of the plate, maybe could frame it, but had to jump over there and was too inside. But already 5 RBIs on the night, 2 home runs. But we'll chop that one to Solar. Little flip over there to Jack Brannell. And the wheels from the catcher, Harrison Beaudelet, will not be a knot. That brings up Adam Quintero. Quintero is 2 for 3 on the night with a single, a double, and a ground out. So Solar making quick work of the Corndogs so far. It's been a very rough pitching staff tonight for LKN, as they allowed 10 runs the last time they played the Copperheads and have already allowed 11. 1-0. Grounded to the second baseman, that being Connor Kiefer. Easy play for route number 3. Nick Solar sits him down 1-2-3. Bottom 6 coming up next. Lake Norman Copperheads trail the Queen City Corndogs 11-6. the catcher Mason Utek up for Lake Norman here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They got some ground to make up, down 5, but got time to do so. Still have 12 outs remaining on the evening. Meany back on the mound. We have an 0-1 count. Meany working out of the windup. Into the screen. Utek falls behind 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. Misses high. 1-2. Good take right there from Utek. Utek fouls that one off. So Meany steps back onto the mound. Going back to that game at Moore Park, and now it sits at 4-4 still in the top of the 6th inning. 1 out in the top of the 6th. Fouled up and over the screen, and count will stay even at 2-2. Two. And what a battle for Mason Utek in this AB, just not going down without a fight. Two. Good take from Utek, and he is sure working a really good AB right now. Count runs full, and not letting Meany get out of this easily. Did he go? Yes, he did. It don't matter if he went around because there's a strike anyway. And after Utek hit a 2 RBI single the last time, he gets put down on K's. Good pitch right there from Meany. And that will bring up the 7-hole hitter, Jack Brannell. Brannell 0 for 2 on the night.
Now batting number 40, Jack Brandel.
1-2. Swing and a miss from Brannell. 1-1. Pitch from Meany. The ball right there. Meany working with some pace just as soon as he gets that ball. Takes a little rosin right there, but just stepping back on the mound and wanting to go to work. 2-1. And actually, that was a 3-1 pitch. Good walk right there from Brannell, and he will reach safely. That brings up Jack Lopez. So Brannell sitting on first, being held on by William Benick. Good pitch right there from Meany. 0-1. Good fastball right there from Meany, outside part of the plate. Lopez just watches that one go right past him. 0-2 count, 1 out in the inning. Jack Brannell sending on first. Ooh, and he just misses another fastball on the outside part of the plate. Just doesn't come inside enough to nick the outside part of the zone. When he comes set, pops that one up, and Baudoulet coming towards the screen, and no chance to get it.
Well, 55, but like 50 after your tax. It is. It's a W.
1-2.
It's not an I-9. It's a W.
Popped up once again.
When I get one of my next pay stubs, I'll send it to you. It's like
Yeah, but I think pretty sure what I
So the count stays at 1-2. Make that 2-2. That one misses low and outside.
and then I Davis and I was an I-9.
Meany will come set, gets the sign from his catcher. That one chopped. No chance at second. Play at first. And Jack Lopez legs it out. Shows off the speed right there. Slides in there safely to first base. Turn off the head first Pete Rose slide right there. And we'll reach on an infield single. That brings up Connor Welker. Welker batting in the 10 hole tonight. Or she be in the 9 hole.
yeah, it just does that.
Meany comes set and delivers. Nice fastball.
Put 'em out.
0-1. Misses low, and Meany just coming straight at those Copperheads hitters last inning. Now just kind of dancing around the strike zone a little bit. Has to rein it in before Copperheads tack on a little more runs. You know, they were down big, got some runs back. They're still down by 5, but got a lot of ball game to play with. Have 11 outs to kind of maneuver tonight. You know, maybe get 1 run back in this inning, make it a 4-run ball game. Little 2-run in, and we have a close game. Welker's going to have to protect right here, down 0-2. And that one will get through the gap. Jack Brannell will go 3 and stick right there. Bases are loaded. Top of the order back up for Connor Kiefer. Kiefer started off the night with a stand-up double, then had the sacrifice ground ball, and then reached on a base on ball. So a productive night so far. That sacrifice also scored a runner. A little weak ground ball to Nathan Sammy. That one in left field, popped up foul. No movement in the Corndogs bullpen, so having faith in their man Meany. And some guys walked around the Copperheads pen, but Solar looked sharp last inning, so no throwing. Solar kind of the first stability to that Copperheads pitching staff that we've seen tonight. 0-1. Good block right there. And keeping Brannell put at third. One from Meany. Nice fastball. That's been his best pitch so far tonight. Just picking his points with the fastball, whether that be outside or up and in or up and out. And just trying to drop some darts into the zone. Kiefer steps out. A little games right there between the both of them. Seeing which guy was going to give in first. Calling time. 1-2. Swing and a miss right there as he gets Connor Kiefer on the slider. And a big out right there from Meany. And that brings up Will Gray.
Now batting, number 9, Will Gray.
Will Gray is over 3 in the night with a backwards K, a pop out and a ground out. That one is into left field. And that ball will get down. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score, and the third being held up. So an error right there from Cannon Pierce will score 2. And Copperheads only down 11-8 as this game just staying close.
Following the 2-run single from Will Gray, number 16, Landon Reeves.
Okay. This isn't the worst. We had like 4 on this. Oh, that sounds bust. Where you going? Cookout? Ooh.
So Landon Reeves now up. 11-8 game after those 2 runs score. Good strike right there from Meany, just trying to get back into a little bit of a rhythm. Inside, and that will clip Landon Reeves. And he will reach as he hit a sacrifice fly that scored a run, had 2 straight walks, and now a hit by Pitt. So he's just finding any way to help his ball club. Might not be a hit, but maybe getting hit by the baseball or working a walk or getting a sac fly. As now we do see some quick movement in that Corndogs bullpen as Meany's control has been wavering. That brings up Tyler Zadalis. Slider just misses outside. Zadalis, one of the few Copperheads who've had no luck tonight, as he is 0 for 3 with 2 pop-outs and a K. But they need him right here. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Foul ball. Hits the protective netting in front of the Corndogs dugout. And Tyler Zadalis has been a big-time player. And they say big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. And this is a big-time moment right here. 1-1. That ball is deep into left field, but foul. As he put some good wood on it, but just got ahead of the slider. So Zadalis will regather. He says, hey, I like that pitch pretty much. Throw it again. I'll maybe stay back a little bit and hit it over the wall. One-two from Meany. Fouled up into the screen. The heart has to be beating quick right now for Zadalis, as he's normally a cool, calm, collected guy, but in a big moment like this with their season on the line, a team that's worked back from a major deficit, just inching back inning by inning, out by out, and Zadalis can completely change the complexion of the ball game with one swing right here. Meany only 1 strike away from getting out of the jam, though. Here comes the 1-2. Fouled off. Zadalis lives to see another day. So who will budge first? Will it be Zadalis who gives in, or Meany? Meany shakes off 2 pitches, finally comes set, delivers the 1-2. That one into center field. That is a drive. That ball is deep. That ball is back. And that ball will be caught, as I think everybody in the ballpark held their breath when they saw that one off the bat, as that was a drive into center field by Tyler Zadalis, just comes short of the grand slam. Good catch by Dylan Lewis, as we will have an 11-8 ball game going into the top of the 7th. Copperheads keeping it close. They're not going down without a fight. win or go home scenario here at Cox Mill High School. Welcome back here, top 7. Queen City Corndogs lead 11-8. Ball misses up and in. Umpires had a little bathroom break right there, and now we're back to the action.
Ball.
It's sure been a long game, so I don't blame them having to take a little break. Gets hot out there. The heat was coming down today, as it has really all week and all summer, especially this week. It's been a extra hot one here in Concord. Ball players make sure they're drinking a lot of liquids out there, as Nick Solar is out for his second inning of work. Saw Solar really work the slider last time, and we saw him try to curve one into the zone right there, but just couldn't get the slice he needed on it. Ball 4 right there, 4-pitch walk. So Wilson Lohr walks for the second time tonight, and that brings up Nathan Sammy. Sammy made a good play at the hot corner last inning, and now trying to get something going with the bat. He has a single, a sacrifice fly, and a pop out tonight. Foul ball.
Now batting number 5, Nathan Sammy.
So with Solar being a lefty, that obviously has an advantage keeping those runners on first base honest, as Wilson Lohr did steal a bag last time. So something to watch out for. That's the arm of Mason Utek and came out on top. One. Solar gets the ball and needs to have a little breather, walks around the mound a little bit, just trying to get his bearings with and get back to the rhythm he had last inning. Two one. Misses low, 3-1 count. Three-one pitch. Misses low. Second walk of the inning. Nathan Sammy says, "I'll take my base."
Following the walk, number 55, Will Budnick.
And they have a little chat at the mound, and we'll let them have that and be back in a moment. William Benick now up to the dish for Queen City. 0 for 3 on the night with 2 pop-outs and a K. That one fouled off. Solar will come set and fire home. Good slider right there. And that's really the first good pitch of the inning that we've seen from Solar, as he was looking good last inning, then 2 straight walks. But up in this count, 0-2 to Benick. Ooh, and that one might have been a cracked windshield or something. That was a big thud.
My car's over there.
As I don't know if that was a windshield or top of the car or something, but that didn't sound very good.
Roll Raggy. Nah, it's okay. Someone's gonna walk up there.
0-2.
Walking up there.
And that one will get through. Bases loaded.
Now batting, number 13.
So good piece of hitting right there from William Benick. Not trying to do too much, just pokes that one through the infield for a single. Bases loaded for Luke Harris.
They're not.
No action in the Copperheads bullpen as they've used a lot of arms so far tonight. No answers for the Corndogs.
We have 2 more we can throw. 2 more guys. That's it.
Copperheads have 2 more arms that they could throw tonight, as you got to imagine they're going to throw the whole kitchen sink and more to really stay in this game because it's win or go home. One count. Wilson Lower stands at third. Nathan Sammy at second. William Benick at first base. No outs in the inning. Game time going on 2 hours, 40 minutes. 1-1. Misses low. Shakes off one, likes the second he sees. 2-1 pitch. Foul from the screen. Now even. Two count, no outs in the inning. And Solar just trying to keep the lead where it's at. Good one right there. Play at the plate. Force out will get him. So Lowell retire at the plate. Good work right there from Connor Kiefer. And Luke Harris will reach on a fielder's choice. Good job from the Copperheads right there, bringing the infield in, being aware of the situation, and getting the lead runner.
Now batting, number 23, Miller St. John.
And that brings up the 10-hole hitter, Miller St. John. First pitch to St. John, fouled off. So we're looking, comes set, likes the pitch that he sees from UTEC. 0-1. Loses a bit of control right there on the slider. One from Solar. Up and high. Two-one count. Nathan Sammy on third. William Benick on second. And Luke Harris on first. 3-1 count. Solar in danger of walking in a run. Count runs full. Good get back pitch right there from Solar. Big pitch right here. 3-2 from Nick Solar. He walks him. Good take right there from Miller St. John. And we will see Nathan Sammy come across the plate and score. Corndogs up 12-8. Top of the order, back up again for Queen City. Dave Morrissey up. Foul ball from Morrissey. Good take right there, watching that fastball go by. One. Fouled off, and if you remember, Morrissey worked a really good at bat earlier in this game. Just kept fouling off pitches, and 2 foul balls right here, but down the count 1-2. One, two from Solar. Strike 3 looking right there. Dave Morrissey not liking that call too much, but a much-needed K from Solar.
Following the strikeout, number 10, Canton Pierce.
Pitch from Solar. Slider misses just above the zone. One 0. Goes back to the slider, works a little bit better right there, falls in for a strike. Ground ball, Kiefer at second, and the 7th inning stretch is coming your way. Maybe get you a 5-hour energy to keep you going through these final 2.5 innings. Bottom 7 coming up. Corndogs lead 12-8.
Leading off the bottom of the seventh, number 23.
Spencer Nolan up for Lake Norman. 5, 6, 7 due up after Tyler Zadalis put a shot into center field and just came short of a grand slam. One zero. Good take right there from Nolan. Copperheads 9 outs to work with, down by 4 after Solar allowed 1 in the top of the 7th. Two. Straight through looking right there. Good pitch right there from Meany. And Spencer Nolan, that's his second time tonight getting sat down on a backwards K.
Now batting number 4, Mason Utic.
Mason Utek now up for Lake Norman. Good take right there from Utek.
Come on, let's go.
That one put up the middle by Utek. Good piece of hitting, his second single of the night.
Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys.
Now batting number 40.
Utek reaches safely, and that gives Jack Brannell something to work with. Brannell worked a walk his last time up, but is 0 for 2 the other times. Good take right there for Brannell. As Brannell, that average might be down, but when you look at those stats, he works a lot of walks. Has a great eye, and can really set him up in good hitters' counts to show off his power lefty bat. As that one is down the right field line and will be fair.
Come on,
Mason
Mason.
Utek going 3, and they get, oh no, they don't get Jack Brannell at first base. They look like the tag from William Nick was in time, but Brannell just got in there safely. And now the Corndogs manager having a chat with the umpires. We've seen both teams' managers tonight coming out and having words with the umpires. A high pressure, high tension game. Win or go home, and you're going to see moments like that.
Now batting number 1, Jack Lopez.
Brannell. So Brannell reaches safely on the single, and now Jack Lopez is up. Lopez having a good night at the dish with a walk and a single. 1-0. I mentioned this before, but what really makes Jack Lopez hard to face, and also Connor Kiefer, is they have smaller frames and also have that squatted stance. As that one will be to the second baseman. They'll try to turn 2. They get 1. Can they get Lopez? He beats it out. So Mason Utek will score. And Jack Lopez will be credited with a fielder's choice, but an RBI.
Now batting number 2, Connor.
As it feels like the Corndogs have a bigger lead than just 3 runs right now. But Copperheads just sticking in this game. They're not going down without a fight. They were down big early and just chipping away. But it feels like any time that they get close within 2 or 3 runs, the Corndogs just add 1 or 2 back, and it just feels like it's too hard to catch up to them with how hot that Corndogs lineup has been the last 2 times they faced the Copperheads. I mean, they've hit 10 runs in their final regular season game. They hit 17 runs last night against the Regulators, and they already have 12. I mean, the Corndogs are pulling out the bats. 1-2. 2-2 now. Connor Welker at the dish for Lake Norman. 2-2 pitch for Meany. Can't find the ball. And Jack Lopez will reach the second safely. Now runner in score position to Connor Welker to work with. So Welker, you get a single right here, make it a 2-run ball game going into the 8th. Who knows what could happen? Full count pitch. Good eye right there from Connor Welker. Works a walk. Connor Kiefer now up to the dish. Kiefer struck out on a good slider last time against Meany. And just got him to bite on a textbook 2-strike slider. That's all I could say about it. Just how you draw it up. We'll see if Meany has the same luck against Kiefer. Outside for a ball. One out. Swing and a miss right there from Kiefer. He saw the slider again. And just swung right through it. Swing and a miss once more from Kiefer. Meany only 1 strike away from getting out of the inning once more. 1-2 pitch coming up next. Into the mitt of the catcher. And Copperheads only get 1 in the inning, down by 3. Top 8 coming up next. Back here, top 8, Corndogs lead 12-9.
He's streaming, but like, who's watching that? Come on.
1-0. Solar back out there on the mound for Lake Norman. 2-0 in the dirt. Copperheads just need a guy that can go out there and go straight at these Corndogs hitters, because I feel like when the Copperheads are having the best luck tonight, they're just coming straight at them and not trying to dance around the strike zone too much. Solar comes set. 3-0, excuse me, and now the count goes to 3-1. From Solar. Works a walk. Good take right there from number 42, Dylan Lewis.
Now batting. Number 37, Harrison Bucaletti.
Is the Mercy 10? Is the Mercy 10? Good slider right there from Solar. Just on the lookout for. The Mercy rule is 10 runs. So, the Corndogs hit that. Just on the lookout for. But Solar looking like he's having some better control in this AB after walking Dylan Lewis. Harrison Beaudelet, 2 home runs on the night, 1 3-run shot, 1 2-run shot. Both of those going into right field. Both of those were against right-handed hitter. Right-handed pitcher, so that's something to look out for. Two one. Ball misses low.
Hit 3-hour game time.
Game time not hitting 3 hours. Probably another 30 minutes to go in this one. But it could be 50. It could be 50 minutes. It could be 15. Who knows how quick the rest of this game's gonna go.
You guys will be out of here about 10:45.
3-2. Strike 3. And can he get him? The throw from UTEC not enough to get Dylan Lewis, but Butterley goes down on K's. Adam Quintero now up for Queen City. Pitch from Solar. Good slider right there to Quintero.
Now batting. Adam Quintero.
0-1. Little chopper right there from Quintero. Try to check swing, hit the bat, foul ball. Solar's favorite pitch tonight has been the slider. Got a lot of Ks on that. Threw it right there. Let's see if he goes slider in, or maybe a little backdoor slider action to the righty, or goes with the heat. 0-2. Goes with the slider, and he gets him swinging. Adam Quintero gets put down on Ks. First time striking out tonight for him. And now Wilson Lohr up to the dish for the Corndogs.
Number 12, Wilson Lloyd.
Lefty on lefty matchup with the former Lake Norman Copperhead Wilson Lure up to the plate. Solar steps on the mound, just checking on Dylan Lewis out there at second. He's being held on by the shortstop, Will Gray. Good fastball right there from Solar. And just coming more direct at these Corndogs hitters this inning. Not trying to play around the strike zone too much, dance around. He's just pounding strikes, and it's working. Big loopy slider misses high, 1-1 count. One one. Slider misses again. 2-1 count.
Yes, sir.
2-1. Up and in. 3-1.
Are you gonna have like a line?
3-1 from Solar. Swing and a miss. Count runs full. One strike away from getting out of the top of the eighth.
My sister was mad because at her house got a cat named Gus, and we let him outside. She's like, they're invasive species. She's not good for the cat. I said,
Full count pitch.
she's also
Swing and a miss right there. Good slider from Solar. Bottom of the eighth. Here we come. Will Gray gets things started here at the bottom of the eighth. Ball right there.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll give you that.
401k funds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Holy yards.
1-1 count now to Gray after that foul ball.
Can you imagine you didn't come home from work and like a lion just attacked you down there?
1-1.
No, I mean,
Outside.
if I fund this cat, let me get shelter.
I'll keep him sweet.
Give visitation.
I love a good cat.
2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 count.
The only thing with cats, you can't predict.
Say thank you to our broadcast partner, Victory Chevrolet, for sponsoring the Lake Norman Copperheads on the tail end of this season and on their playoff run. Make sure to check out Victory Chevrolet. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss right there from Will Gray. He gets sat down on K's. A good pitch right there. The second time tonight Gray has struck out.
Batting number 16, Landon Louise.
Reeves, who is 0 for 0 on the night, is now up to the dish as he has a sacrifice fly. He has been walked twice and has been hit by a pitch. So not many times that your team scores 9 runs and you go 0 for 0, but let's see if we can continue that right here. Trying to lay down a bunt, unsuccessful, 0-1 count. Shows bunt, pulls it back, ball. And see the Corndogs with that major shift over there. Nobody guarding that third baseline, trying to lay one down. And he will do that. Good piece of hitting right there from Landon Reeves to say, hey, you know what? You're going to try to pull that fast one off me on me with the shift, and I'll just lay one down the left field line. Great work by Landon Reeves. That brings up Tyler Zadalis, who is 0 for 4. And that really just that really raised some questions with Zadalis being 0 for 4 in the night. What if Zadalis was turning on tonight, maybe 2 for 4? How different of a ball game could it have been if Zadalis got some big hits in the middle of the lineup? But no better time to start getting things going than right now. Oh, 1. Swing and a miss from Zadalis. Count evens up at 1-1. Popped up over the screen, 1-2. Popped up into center field. Dylan Lewis coming on it for out number 2. Zealous pops out for the 4th time tonight. And now the UNC Charlotte product, Spencer Nolan, up. Ground ball. Sammy, the third baseman, gets it, fires it over to first for out number 3. Top 9 up next here at Coxville High School. Let's see if the Corndogs can pad to their lead. We'll be back in just a second. Nathan Sammy up for the Corndogs. New pitcher to the game for the Copperheads, Andrew Bruss. Good pitch right there from Bruss to get the evening started. Nice outside fastball here in the top of the 9th inning. 0-1. Works the curveball. Ooh, and just misses. Corndogs lead 12-9. Winner to go home game here at Cox Mill High School. So Brush is trying to keep the game where it's at and see if the Copperheads lineup can do any damage. 2-1. Misses high. You can see the Copperheads really throwing the kitchen sink at the Corndogs tonight, using a lot of their best arms, as Bruss will walk Sammy. Second time tonight, Sammy has worked a walk, and now William Benick up to the dish.
Now batting, William Budnick.
As Benick has one of many guys who's worked a lot of walks tonight, and control has just been a big issue for a lot of pitchers that have been on the mound for Lake Norman tonight, whether it be Oshler or Javier or Lane or Bruss now after walking that first batter, but nice little quick pickoff move right there. We'll be going. Throw from Utek at second base. Good throw, not in time to get Sammy as he shows off the wheels.
How's it going?
And now we have a new member to the broadcast crew. Final inning of the year, but she decides to finally hop on. Natalie Lamphere on the call.
What's up? What's up?
Back into the saddle from the Cox Mill days,
Woo,
huh?
it's been it's been a while.
Yeah.
Thought
Now-
I'd hop on.
Yeah, Natalie working a lot of social media stuff for the Copperheads and for the league. Still got some good content coming out in the coming days.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of video content coming soon, postseason as well.
And if you see any photos of any Copperheads player, you better bet Natalie took it.
That's right. You know me. It's my boy, Bruss right here.
Yep, high miss right there from Andrew Bruss, the man from Catawba Community College,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
one of the best JUCOs in the nation. Didn't play at all his freshman year, trying to get a big role his sophomore year, and then transferred to a stable 4-year after that.
Yeah, very, very nice kid.
I think-
Very talented on the mound.
I mean, nicest kid to really ever meet. Every time you see Andrew saying
absolutely.
hi and coming
Yeah.
up and talking to you, and just
Yeah.
a great guy to be around.
Great, very uplifting teammate in the dugout as well. Probably one of our best guys about that is always making sure guys are keeping their heads up. Especially with a game like this. I mean, we've been down all game, but Bruss has been in there. Even though he wasn't doing anything, he's in uniform, he's ready. He said, "Coach, I'm ready to pitch whenever you need me." And that's
Just gives off that
Yeah.
emphatic energy in the dugout, and
yeah.
it's really worked. I mean, the Copperheads were down and out of this game. We're talking about mercy rule, and now they're only down by 3 in the 9th, and it's just they're sticking in there.
they really are. I mean, after a scoreless 8th, I mean, I feel like they could pull it off here, especially with Bruss coming in. Great pitch there, just Blue does not like it.
Yeah, that was a stone cold take right there from William Benick. I mean, you see that 2-2 pitch, you got to protect that curveball, loop it in there, and you're
Yeah.
gonna have.
Great curveball by Bruss.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff, especially on the off-speed side of things.
Yeah.
And that will work the count full count pitch from Andrew Bruss. Goes with the fastball, fouled off from Benick. One thing that really seen from all these Corndog hitters is that they've done a really good job of just working counts, and that shows by the score line. I mean, they're not really attacking first or second pitchers. They're just working their counts and making the pitchers really work for it, and they're going to put one over the plate. We're going to capitalize on it. That's what the Corndogs are saying tonight. 3-2. Ooh, and a good slider right there, just misses. And another stone-cold take from William Benick, and he works his second walk of the night.
Great pitch, but I mean, I know that strike zone after. I mean, I've been down in that dugout all night, but it's definitely been picky with some of those outside pitches, basically all night for both sides. So I think that just might be the umpire of tonight.
The umpire favoring the more the inside part of the zone than the outside, just
Definitely.
personal preference.
Yeah, definitely some beautiful pitches on both ends of teams here, but some pretty big missed opportunities for the Copperheads.
That brings up Luke Harris to the dish as he has singled 3 times tonight and trying to continue that right here with 2 men on. Ooh, and that one almost runs in and gets him in. Did that ball hit him? Luke Harris looks mad that the ball hit him, and I don't think that ball hit him, but the umpire is saying yes, it did.
Yeah.
And
So we got loaded bases here.
now we'll have a little mound visit, so we'll be back. We'll let them chat it up. Bases loaded, top 9. Bases loaded, no out. Miller St. John up for the for the Corndogs to try to extend their 12-9 lead.
Starting off with a ball after that mound visit. Bruss
Yeah.
is definitely feeling the pressure.
Yeah, just trying to calm down Bruss, Coming into a big situation, you got to hold a lead, and then you allow the first couple guys on. It's on damage control now, as that one will get past UTEC. Corndogs lead 13-9. And Bruss has really been one of the stronger guys out of the bullpen for the Copperheads. I mean, he's a guy that you look towards end of game, really give you some quality innings. You might have a guy like Blake Oshler go out there, pitch 6 or 7 innings, and then Bruss shut it down. And Bruss,
Definitely leaned in there, but it's all right. It's all right. I guess we're just.
yeah, it looks like Miller St. John kind of leaned in towards that pitch, but the umpire's going to give him his base. Bases loaded, infield in. Good breaking pitch right there from Bruss. Nice little 11-5 action on it. That one gets back to the backstop. And the Corndogs add to their tally.
14 runs now for the Corndogs. 5 runs. That's.
Yeah, it's been a pitching staff that's actually been really good this year for the Copperheads through and through. I mean, they've had guys like Andrew Bruss and Oshler and Andrew Hazel and Bagwell that have had really good seasons, but guys like Bruss and Oshler tonight just haven't had the stuff that they've had the rest of the first half of the whole season, really.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Oshler has kind of struggled his last 2 starts at home. I'm not sure about any sort of away games with relief, but definitely not the same stuff we saw in the beginning of the season with his starts. I mean, he was leading in strikeouts and probably one of the top pitchers in the SCBL for first few weeks of play.
As that's a walk right there, and the inning just continues to pile on for Andrew Bruss. Another mound visit. We'll see what the result of that will be, and we'll be back in just a moment.
All right, so to give Zane a little break here, so we Copperheads have no arms left in the bullpen. So what we're gonna do here is take out Hazel and put on Jack Lopez. So he's never actually, he pitched a little bit in high school, but mostly caught for Cox Mill. Definitely not a pitcher, but honestly has done pretty good on the mound for the Copperheads this season. So we're hopefully looking at a good little relief here for our pitchers as we have thrown everybody we can. So looking at the bracket here, today is Game 8, as you can see on the score bug. So tomorrow will be Game 9 with the loser of Game 7, which is the A's and the Spinners. Looking at that, it's bottom 8. Spinners are up 7-4. So if the Spinners win, they will secure their spot in the championship tomorrow and Sunday, or Saturday and Sunday, excuse me. And the A's will play the winner of this game. So definitely an interesting bracket setup for this year, with 2 teams already eliminated and 2 more going home tonight. Before the Owls were eliminated last night, they finished with 19 wins and 11 losses. The Spinners are 17-10. The Copperheads are 16-11. The Athletics are tied 500, 16-16, as well as the Corndogs with 14 wins and 14 losses. Getting back to the game here, we got number 10 coming up for the Corndogs, starting with Lopez.
So Connor Pierce will be the first man that Lopez faces here in the top of the 9th, coming in for relief for Andrew Bruss. As we were talking about Bruss's stuff this year, just didn't have it tonight, and just maybe coming into this game not thinking he's going to pitch, having to come in late and just one of those nights,
Yeah, one big thing, the Corndogs DH, Wilson Lohr, very talented hitter. He's hitting .414 this season. Definitely been killing it every game that I've seen him in. So, pretty talented hitter here.
Yeah, we've seen him with 2 walks and a double tonight. As that is a drive into right field. That ball is deep. That ball is back. That ball will stay in as 1 run coming around, two runs coming around, 3 runs coming around, and it's a home run. As that is a grand slam right there for Connor Pierce. And that is the 4th home run of the night for the Queen City Corndogs.
18-9 is new score. Corndog 18-9 is the new score of the game with 6 runs this inning. Lopez giving up a grand slam after 2 pitches, but Copperheads really have no other choice.
Yeah, 2 of those runs will be accounted to Andrew Bruss because he left those 2 men in scoring position for Lopez to deal with, and then the other 2 will be accounted to Lopez. Lopez, we actually saw him pitch a solid amount at the start of the year and then kind of went back to his normal position player, and now back out here for the Copperheads on the mound.
Yeah, after we lost Andy Schultz as a catcher, he has been kind of catching relief games for Mason UTEC, but Mason's been going really strong the last 4 days catching. So, big shout out to him for being behind the dish for that many games a week.
We have a 3-0 count here. Make that 4-0, a 4-pitch walk for number 42, Dylan Lewis.
Game quickly slipping away from the Copperheads here.
Yeah, I feel like they had something going, only down by 3, say, hey, if Andrew Bruss can come in this game, shut him out. Only down by 3, who knows, 2 batters on and a big blast, and we might be into extras, but now this game feels as good as gone.
Yeah, pretty much.
That one into right center field. Spencer Nolan going over to it. That one will hit the wall. And 1 run will be coming around, that being Dylan Lewis. Corndogs now up by 10. And now sitting at 19-9.
Looks like the Spinners and A's game is now 14-4. Final score.
As the Spinners scored 9 runs in the bottom of the 8th, they said, hey, we're just going to keep it close bottom 8. We're just going to hit it wide open.
So that means with that bracket, Spinners have secured their spot in the championship game, and the A's will play the winner of this game tomorrow.
That game will be at Concord High School, more than likely against the Queen City Corndogs, unless the Lake Norman Copperheads have a 11 run, maybe even more they might have to have with that runner advancing to third base in the 9th. I mean,
Yeah,
we've seen some wacky stuff, but that'd be close to a miracle.
definitely.
Now batting number 12, Wilson Lowell.
So Wilson Lore, the man who Natalie was just talking about moments ago with the best average in the SCBL, up to the dish. As Wilson has just absolutely been raking, as he was also playing really good last year for the Lake Norman Copperheads and under manager Sean Stevens.
Yeah. So another quick stat about the Corndogs is Harrison Budoletti is actually number 2 in home runs in the league and number 1 in RBIs. He's got 27 RBIs with a 325 average and 5 home runs. So those 5 home runs have actually been his last 5 at-bats before the 2 that weren't at-bats, or that weren't home runs today. So he had 5 in a row. So he hit 3 bombs last game. So
Tearing it up.
yeah, he's been tearing it up the last couple games.
And just a hitter like that, when he's hot, he's hot. And he's one of those guys. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Out number 2. Lopez getting some more consistency here. Just trying to hand it over to that Copperhead lineup. Now Adam Quintero up. And really, all these Corndog hitters really racking up the ABs tonight towards the end of the season and just trying to pad those stats before they go back for fall ball. Quintero will pop that one up over the press box and foul.
Speaking of foul, Victory Chevrolet of Charlotte sponsored all of those foul balls, so make sure to check them out.
Yes, Victory Chevrolet, the broadcast partner for the Lake Norman Copperheads for the tail end of the season. Final couple games jumping on board. And also partner of all the game balls out there tonight and the past couple of nights. 1-1. Fouled off into the screen. Jack Lopez only 1 strike away from getting out here in the top of the 9th. Lopez looks in. Comes sit. Delivers the 1-2. Straight 3. Swinging. Lopez gets him. Last call for the Copperheads. Final 3 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Gotta get 11 or you go home. So simple as that for Lake Norman.
All right, bringing it back here, Mason Utek. First pitch, fouling it off to the left side here. We've got number 6 of the Corndogs on the bump right now. Counts 0-1. So Copperheads are going to need to put up 10 runs to tie, 11 runs to at least win here.
Popped up once more. Foul. So we have an 0-2 count to Mason Utek in the lefties batter's box. Fouled off once more. So let's recap this Copperhead season that they've had. First season under a new manager, three managers in 3 years now. And
Yeah.
I mean, Noah Jarrett, good job of getting that 3 seed. They're fighting for that 2 seed and even the 1 seed all year, really, as we will see that one to the second baseman. And will not be able to rein it in for out number 1, so UTEC will advance safely. Copperheads, they've been just consistent the last 2 years in that top half of the SCBL, and just with so much roster change from going from one manager to another, you got to commend Noah Jarrett.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we pretty much had a whole full staff come in this year, especially me. But, you know, it's a big difference. I mean, these guys are playing well, and Noah is a great manager.
See, Brent will ground out there for route number 1. Good play right there by the second baseman.
Now we got Jack Lopez, the boy on the bump for right now.
Copperhead. So, Natalie, you know, as 2 people that have been with the team all year, who do you say would be the team MVP this year for Lake Norman?
Personally, I would probably pick Will Gray. Had an awesome season. He has been struggling the past about 2 or 3 games, but honestly, he's had a great season hitting-wise and fielding-wise. I mean, I've seen some great plays and just some sick home runs. He's a great overall player. I mean, he killed it in his own collegiate league and was All-American. So,
yeah.
I mean, he definitely brought that to summer ball.
Yeah, I mean, 2 memorable home runs for me for Will Gray is that first home game where he hit the go-ahead 3-run home run to get the Copperheads the win, and also the walk-off home run he had against the Corndogs earlier this year. And a guy that with some major power. For me, it's got to be kind of the obvious choice, but Tyler Zadalis. I mean, one of the best hitters in the SCBL, maybe not average-wise, but power-wise. He was first in the SCBL on home runs going into tonight.
Yeah.
And top in RBIs, and just been a power batting the 3 or 4 hole, and also not in the field as much as of late than he's been earlier in the year, but when he was in the field playing the hot corner especially, just showing off the arm that he has.
Oh, yeah.
And one of many great bats this year for the Copperheads.
Agreed. I feel like an honorable mention is Brock Donnelly, who left about a week ago due to just some issues with injury as well as vacation and getting ready to go back to school. But, I mean, he was an overall great hitter. He just is, I believe he's committed to Gaston College, or Gaston University? Something like that. College. Nope.
As that one is a drop in the left field, and ladies and gentlemen, that's all she wrote on the Lake Norman Copperhead season. They go down 19-9 to the Queen City Corndogs, and they will be advancing and have a date with the Concord A's tomorrow night at Concord High School. Well, we want to thank you to all the ears that listened to a Lake Norman Copperheads broadcast this 2023 summer. It's been an absolute joy to be along and part of the ride with all the great people that we've worked with this summer, whether it be just someone coming out for one night and helping with us on a stream or whatever that may be, as the camera's now turned to me. Want to thank you for watching us. For me or Reese or Natalie or Bubba or Noah, anybody that's been in the press box, want to thank you very much. And hopefully you stick with us for the rest of the SCBL season. I know the final's going to be a good one tomorrow night. You got the Concord A's, and they will be hosting the Queen City Corndogs. So thank you for being with us tonight and the whole season, and we hope to see you next year back here at Coxmill High School for some more SCBL baseball. For Zane Metz signing off.